Hello, God, more Marvel, as if we didn't ask for it. The Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer has just dropped directly into our eye and ear holes, and how you two consumed it. That was just enough for me.
Through my nose.
Yeah, so we just watched it, and yeah, okay, right.
Now, what do you want to
right, before we get into this, I was a bit worried about this because I thought they were going to not let us know that it's really tied into Infinity War, and it was actually, oh no more family fun, everybody's dying here as well. But no, it is very much in the same thrust as the original Ant-Man movie,
yes.
And I'm going to go to you for an opinion straight away.
I really like it. You know, it's more Ant-Man doing... I love the... one thing that stood out to me specifically was the kitchen scene. Because it looks like, you know that bit in Ratatouille where he's getting chased all over the kitchen? And there's just the Wasp trying to outrun this guy just smashing all these tomatoes. That's great. I want more just size-based humour, really, which they kind of end the trailer on in a really gratuitous way.
So we're all sort of happy that this is, as you put it, a palate cleanser after Infinity
Yeah, I mean, going into this, because we have a lot of theories. We always deal in theories. So a lot of this morning it was like, the trailer's coming soon. Either it's going to delve into some sort of, post-Thanos stuff. We knew it was set after in Civil War, but like potentially there's going to be something in the trailer that might be like, hey, by the way, this has something to do with Infinity War. But that wasn't what it was at all. And so going into this, I was like, either it's going to have that stuff, or it's going to be like a palate cleanser. It's going to be Marvel going, don't worry, we can still do the fun thing.
It hasn't got that stuff thus far.
Yes.
I know.
The
I
Quantum
thought
Realm is in here, though.
I thought genuine, brilliant marketing would have been to sort of play Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, don't worry, it's after Civil War, but it's not connected to Infinity War. And then the week after Infinity War comes out,
then
you get an Ant-Man trailer, which is all about Infinity War and the Quantum Realm and fixing everything. But no, that's not what we got
As
at all.
Someone who knows people who have kids that took them to see this and then had to counsel and console their children afterwards, I think this is the more logical choice. Yeah. Even though, obviously the rest of us who have seen Infinity War want a continuation of that. But you were saying about the kitchen scene, that kind of points to the thing that I really love about this. It's just the sheer inventiveness of the action scenes. Like, there's a lot more shrinking, going big, and all that kind of thing in nearly every scene now. Which is great.
When they throw the device, the salt shaker,
yes.
and the guy's trying to get out, he's gotten completely clattered by a salt shaker that's about twice the size.
Stuff like that looks really good. And I really didn't rate the first Ant-Man. I just thought it was a bit naff. But I like the fact that they're honing in on the thing that is the most interesting to see, which is the size powers. And then obviously you see him get huge at the end, which is a great bit from Civil War.
It's got that laugh again from Civil War, which is
and
the
it's
best
like,
laugh
if you're
ever.
going to pay reference to other scenes, the bit from Civil War is great.
Ewan, what can you tell us about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Specifically about this premise? Or
yes, the premise of this film.
I know nothing.
The Ghost is who's the villain of this film. They're kind of, you see him beneath the mask in this trailer. They're typically more of an Iron Man villain in the comics. Like, they have a bit of a vendetta with Stark Industries, but it's not difficult to see them maybe changing that and having them have a vendetta with Pym Industries. Or Pym.
We've seen a big old connection in the past between Pym and Stark.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of
and it wouldn't be the first time that they've kind of inversed their roles, because in the comics it's actually Pym who creates Ultron, whereas in the films it's Tony who creates Ultron. So yeah, I think that looks really interesting. As for the dynamic between Ant-Man and Wasp specifically, that's awesome, because that's one of the biggest partnerships in comics. Strangely enough, though, I thought they were going to show off Michelle Pfeiffer in this, because in the poster they showed her off, but they didn't.
This brings me to my next question, which I ask this film about pretty much every single film, but this is one of the few ones where there's an actual answer.
Yes.
Where is Michelle Pfeiffer?
The quantum realm.
You ask this on a daily basis.
Yeah,
and yet this time we do have an
yeah.
answer. So that's one of the things that's worth talking about in terms of going forward for the MCU. We now have more window into what the quantum realm looks like. We saw it in the first Ant-Man, and it's been talked about and that kind of thing. But now we have a better sort of more crazy contrast-wise color palette for it. It looks a little bit like the Doctor Strange, different realms and things like that.
Dormammu.
So if Ant-Man's going to flesh out that side of things, the quantum realm's maybe going to factor into where Infinity War is going with Thanos.
Yeah, the interesting thing there as well with Ghost, they mention how their power specifically. I think Michael Peña's character, he mentions that they're using the subatomic things to shift in between matter, which I think is a really cool thing as well, because they're basically running through doors and so
that's another dynamic to the whole up, down, big, small, left, right.
Could have said another dimension and you would have been away.
Sugar. It's been a long week. I know it's Tuesday afternoon, but it's been a long week.
I only think in terms of when I saw Infinity War, and that's how I judge time now. So
BIW.
Yeah.
That's how everything is rated. Don't want to get too much into Infinity War, because this is supposed to be about Ant-Man and the Wasp, but the potential theories that we have for how things could be either resolved or rectified or approached in Avengers 4 does involve the quantum realm.
Yes.
And we've seen that in Ant-Man already.
Yes.
And I know this is just one trailer. We've seen approximately 2 minutes of what will probably be an early 2 hour.
We'll keep spoiler free.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to focus a lot more on the quantum realm than perhaps this trailer implied it would, or do you think...
I think a lot of it is going to be about their search for the original Wasp. I think interesting to me is the fact that this villain has managed to weaponize the subatomic thing, which is something that Pym himself's never able to master. But she's like transitioning in and out of it at whim. So that might be a thing that they're looking to consider. Maybe the villain in particular holds the answers thereafter, and they have to come together to do something.
Well, we love getting carried away with these,
don't
we?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they bring that back. I hope there's more flashbacks as well, because one thing I always love in these Marvel films is when they go back to the past and you can see 80s Tony Stark and 80s Michael Douglas and all that sort of.
80s Michelle Pfeiffer.
You.
What? She's Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Right, away from the whole Marvel nerdery, which we're obviously going to spill ourselves to death talking about later on, simply as a film, as a cinema outing, how do you think this looked? Scott?
I honestly, I mean, like I said, I didn't rate Ant-Man very high at all. I just thought it was incredibly generic.
It's true, you didn't.
I didn't, and you'll see our big ranking video at some point. But yes, with this though, like I said, the sheer inventiveness in the action scenes, the general overall confidence that they have. Like this is coming after Civil War. We've seen Giant Man. We've seen all the different things that they can do in terms of size, and just there's not a single action scene in here where it doesn't have a level of creative input to it. Like whether it's throwing the giant salt shaker or coming out the side of a car and going back in, or kicking the side of a van while you skateboard along the side on a lorry. Like
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. And it's like, give me just a whole movie of that. That in itself can carry. Like, that's a visually interesting thing, and they can do it the whole way through. I always like when a superhero has mastered or is more accomplished with their powers. So I'm game.
Are you slightly worried, Ewan, that Scott makes excellent points there, but we've just seen 4 or 5 brilliant big, small, large, little visual fight gags in the trailer?
Yes.
Do you think there's a potential that's all the good ones?
I really hope not. I hope
they'd have to have a lot.
I'm kind of really banking on Thomas making a return because,
get Gordon
what's
if we're going to do that.
You know what I mean? But I think you're right there. But these Marvel films are always the most interesting. They're really inventive with their action sequences. So if you look at something like Iron Man 3, for example, it's the first Ant-Man as well. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to him evading seagulls because
there's got to be something when he comes out the water next to that tanker ship thing. That's got to be a thing. He's not just going to stand there. So there's got to be some other bit that's going to come after that. Aside from that,
looks good. We're quite excited. Overall, we're quite excited about this. Yeah.
How are you on it?
Oh, I'm alright, mate. I thought I'll be honest. I am still in the afterbirth of Infinity War. I'm still rolling around in that slop, and I just wanted this to be a genius bit of marketing to tease us. It's funny, it's Ant-Man. Wasn't he good? Wasn't it a nice heist caper with his little daughter? And then it's like, by the way, everybody's still absolutely.
Like I said, if you talk to people who have the children, if you see the little faces, they don't want more of the horrible thing.
For all intents and purposes,
they want a good thing.
If you have a child who's 6, the only Marvel film that comes out this year is Ant-Man. Infinity War just doesn't exist. Just leave him be.
They need something to put the sunshine back in their lives, just a little bit.
And I think we'll agree this trailer does look like they're going to put the sunshine back, not only in our lives but in the MCU.
Yes.
Great. Yes. Well, you should go watch the trailer if you've not seen it already. No doubt, whichever poor sod's been editing this has been splicing it all over the back of us. That's how we like to do it in the office. Anyway,
splicing all over the back of us.
Yeah, exactly. Or in your hair, whatever. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. This has been Scott. This has been Ewan. I've been Adam. We have been discussing the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer reaction video thing. That's what we do. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.